get carried away here. So we will just have a quick look at what the other notes are on the three strings that we haven't looked at yet. So we would have the D, we'd have an E note on the 2nd fret, and an F note on the 3rd fret. Remember, I'm assigning a finger to a fret here. You don't need to hear me say it. On the A string, we'd have the A note. We're getting a lot lower than the staff now. The B note on the 2nd fret, the C note on the 3rd fret, and on the E string, the low E string, we've got our E note, F note, and our G note. Okay, so if we now know where all the normal notes, meaning that there's no sharps and flats, or what would be all the white keys on a piano, in first position they are E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Now I just played a scale then. People refer to that as the C major scale of all the normal notes. It's actually the E Phrygian maybe we just played, but never mind that. So because I got to the top, then I got to the G, I've got to play it backwards. I've got to go back down through all those notes. G, F, E, D, C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C, B, A, G, F, E. You keep quiet, cat. So you got to try to get in the habit of any time you pick up the guitar, just quickly go through all those notes, and in the way that I just did, saying the name of the note as you play it. It seems like a pain, but it only takes a second, and if you do it regularly, you can get faster at it, and it's a very useful thing to be able to instantly know where each one of those notes is, okay? E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F. So reciting the alphabet backwards is actually a little bit harder than people think. So when you're really getting used to where these notes are located in first position, having to try to think, what was the note that occurs before that in the alphabet? G, B, C, D, E, F, E. It's a tricky thing. So what we're really trying to do here is just get to know that image that I'll show right now of where all those notes are, and really associating which one of the notes is in which place. Okay, so when I do this, G, F, E, D, C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C, B, A, G, F, E. I'm actually not reciting the alphabet backwards in my head. I'm just thinking of what note I'm playing in the scale because I've practiced that a lot. Okay, so it won't hurt to practice it without saying the name of the note. Do it as slow as you need to make sure those notes are coming out cleanly. I'm just trying to go quickly to explain this quickly, okay? So when you're doing it in reverse order, starting from the high G and working your way back down the scale, it's okay to have that image somewhere nearby to cheat a little bit, but don't rely on it too much. You really just want to get used to the layout of where those notes are. And it doesn't come straight away, but that's why whenever you pick up the guitar, quickly racing up and down through that scale, if you can make a point of saying the name of the note as you're playing it, it's going to be really useful to you later on. Okay, so one last time, here's all the normal notes starting at our low E string. E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Back down, G, F, E, D, C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C, B, A, G, F, E. Now you should do that exercise on your own. Do it slower than that and make sure all those notes are sounding out, saying the name of the note as you play it. So when we play that scale, we can also turn it into a good exercise to practice our picking coordination as well. And we want to use what's called alternate picking, just meaning that we're constantly moving a down, up motion of the pick. We never want to hit 2 down strokes in a row, and we never want to play 2 up strokes in a row. Down, up, this kind of thing. So you can start off doing it, practicing with it just on the one string, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. It's called alternate picking where we, down, up, down, up. Okay, now we've got to go work our way back down. We're going to start with a downstroke again. You get it. Moving on. So it's worth spending a second just thinking about the correct way of holding a pick as well. Because a lot of people would grab it and sort of think that it's something like this, where we've got two fingers and then the thumb opposite, and then that's what feels natural at first. So, but we don't need to have two fingers contacting the pick. We only really need the one, and rather than having it on the front of the finger like this, it's actually better to have the pick resting against the edge of the finger like that. So they're starting with the hand without holding the pick, and just wrapping that finger around, you'll see that, like this way, and then actually running the thumb along the edge. So I kind of get a straight line forming along here, where the nail's not sticking out, it's along the edge of the thumb is where my finger's resting. Okay, then at a right angle from that, just coming straight out, is where I sort of insert the pick there. So it's on the edge of that finger sticking out. Now that is a little bit rigid, a little bit too much of a sharp angle there, and I can sort of feel strain in there. But then when I just release that a little bit and let it flatten, let that finger straighten out a little bit, that is a more relaxed kind of natural way that gives me great control, and it also keeps this hand spread out, which I can use it for a few other things, palm muting, as well as what we call hybrid picking, where I can use these fingers, not the little finger, just these two, to pluck the strings as well. So the other advantage of this sort of pick technique is that we can easily do what's called the palm mute. Right? We're using the palm of our hand to mute the string, not a very imaginative name there. So the way we do this, there's a contact point where the string's touching the bridge, and that's going to look different on an electric guitar, obviously. But so basically, when my palm's resting on the string on the outside area of the string, it's not affecting the sound. As soon as it crosses over into the part of the string that's actually moving and vibrating, then it's going to start to mute the sound. That kind of thing. The further I go that way, moving my hand, it's going to mute that string more and more, till at some point the note just disappears and it becomes more of a percussion kind of sound. There's no real pitch there. So knowing that, we can sort of utilize that to add expression and to really get a different amount of attitude to the sound, and that's sort of what it does. It adds using a lot of rock and roll and punk rock sort of stuff, you know, that kind of thing. But Peter Gunn goes from being to so have a play around with that and practice it. It's good to know about that technique early on, so you can be thinking about it and just giving us more variety of sounds that we can use. Hey there, thanks for watching that video. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe. We've heard all that before. But if you want some accompanying material as you work your way through these videos, be sure to visit the link right there, johnnynedwich.com, free guitar lessons, and that's going to hopefully clarify things a little bit more, but also you'll be notified when the next lessons are ready to go, and we'll just carry on getting better and better and having a lot of fun playing these things. All right, cool. See you soon.